to the channel. So in this video, as you can see by the title, I am just going to be answering a bunch of questions from my previous video, and I hope this does cover everything I didn't in the gloss bars video, which I will put up there so you guys can watch it if you haven't watched it already. So most of the questions I received were about how I apply them, how I melt them, how they smell, and then I'm just going to add in a bunch of other questions that I feel would be great for you guys to know going ahead with you making your own gloss bars if you decide to. So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's just get straight into it. So after taking my gloss bars out of the freezer, I will just get some boiled water and put it into a glass bowl and fill that up, and then I'll take another container and put the gloss bar in there, and then put the container into the glass bowl with the boiled water. So it's a bit like that double boil method, just to melt it naturally and nicely. And then I will just cover it with a towel just to make sure no dirt gets in there, or no dust or anything like that, nothing falls into it. And also it kind of just helps to melt it a little bit quicker, just because it's covered and the heat doesn't have anywhere else to go but in the bowl. So yeah, I just add a towel over it. Usually after about 30 to 35 minutes it will be completely melted. Then I'll just take like a plastic spoon and then stir it, mix it, just to smooth everything out. So I usually use the Herbal Essences conditioners. I usually normally use this one, which is the rose extract, which is the conditioner for coloured hair, or I will use the Beautiful Ends Pomegranate Essences conditioner. I try not to use this one too much, just because it's like it says for damaged hair, so you know that it's going to have some kind of protein, some kind of strengthener in there to repair and restore or whatever. So I don't really use this one too often, but it smells so good. It smells super good, so that is one of the reasons I like to use it as well. And then this one smells beautiful as well. I love using that because it's just such a well-rounded conditioner. It has amazing slip, and I use this to detangle with as well in the shower, because obviously I'm just using loads of it and then I'm detangling it and then I'm just rinsing it out straight away. So I don't like to use any expensive conditioner to detangle with, just because I'm just not leaving it in there for a long period of time and getting the full use out of it. I'm literally just using it to detangle. So I kind of just added it to my gloss bar because I already have the Shea Moisture Superfruits 10-in-1 deep conditioner already in the mixture. So I just use the Herbal Essences conditioner just to give it even more slip, so it can rinse out really nicely and really quickly and really thoroughly. So I like to section my hair in decent sized sections, just so I can completely distribute it through the entire hair shaft from root to tip. I like to massage it into my scalp as well, make sure I get the ends, just distribute it really, really well. I don't need to take super small sections because there's just no point. I'm trying to be time efficient as well, and plus the mixture isn't super thick, so I just don't need to go overboard by doing tiny little sections. And plus, because I leave it in for like a good amount of time, I know that it's gonna penetrate my strands and my hair shaft really well over the time that I've left it in there. So I just don't need to do the most with the section. So only tip I would suggest is to wear gloves. As you can see here in this clip, my hands are slightly orange. It's not super bad. To be honest, I don't particularly care. But every time I do use it, afterwards I'm like, I wish I used gloves because my hands are kind of orange, but it's not really that much of a big deal. I would suggest to wear gloves. It will just make things a lot easier. I'll either use castor oil or I'll use the DIY Henna growth oil. Whichever one I'm feeling, I'll just kind of mix it up a little bit. So I'll put that in the night before I know that I'm going to use the gloss bar. So it's kind of like a pre-shampoo treatment. Then I'll just use a shampoo and then detangle with a light conditioner. And then I'll just apply the gloss to not super wet hair, but not dry, obviously. So just kind of damp. To be completely honest with you guys, it sort of has like a chocolate orange. I'm going overboard, but honestly it is pretty subtle, but I do get chocolate orange vibe from it. So no bad smells over here, but it is super subtle, so when you rinse it out there will pretty much be no smell. I like to leave it in anywhere from between 2 to 3 hours. I wouldn't suggest you leave it in for too much longer than that, just because it's a really effective treatment. You will see and feel it strengthen your hair pretty much right away. If you go a little bit over 3 hours like I did, I went like 20 minutes over the 3-hour mark, which is fine. Just try not to do too much and like go completely overboard. So I simply rinse it out thoroughly with warm water. I don't like to use super cold water, and I know that people like to use freezing cold water to lay the hair shaft down and to close the cuticles and whatever. But personally, I feel like what's the point in shocking my system with freezing cold water just to close some hair shafts, which could do more damage than good when I pretty much air dry my hair with cool air anyway. And especially if you live in like a colder climate, I live in the UK, so it's pretty cold, so I don't need to be doing that. And then I just kind of go on to style it as normal with like a leave-in conditioner and styler and whatever. And then I'll just leave it to air dry or diffuse on occasion. For henna, the best alternative I feel would be cassia powder. Even though it won't give you like the Lawson dye effect that the henna has, where it kind of fills in the gaps in your hair shaft and like all the damaged bits, it will over time give your hair an overall thicker appearance, and it will just have your hair super healthy. It's got such amazing hair benefits that will just have your hair looking amazing. For coconut oil, I know a lot of people are allergic to it. I like to switch up the oils I use in my recipes sometimes, so using any kind of carrier oil that suits you and that works really well for your hair. So it could be castor oil, which I find is really amazing because it's so moisturizing, so it will balance out that henna strength nicely. Avocado oil or jojoba oil, like any oil that pretty much works really well for you. So there's a lot of alternatives to the oils that are in this recipe. So the simple answer is yes, it will give your hair the most beautiful dark brown, reddish kind of tone, even looking like slightly dark purple in some lights. I love the colour of my hair now more than I ever have with any time I've dyed it or coloured it or anything. I love it more now so than ever. The more you use henna over time, it will strengthen the colour and it will just kind of intensify those reddish brownish kind of vibe, and it will even colour greys as well. That could be like a really good natural alternative to using dye. You're probably wondering like, how does she know that it's gonna colour greys? So I do have one grey like somewhere around the front here, and over the time that I've been using the henna bars, I've noticed such a huge difference in the grey. I will try and capture a picture for you guys and put it in there so you can see. I didn't take it before, but which I probably should have, but I will try and show you guys a little bit better. So it's kind of like gone like a bronzy colour, and it's just a lot darker than grey. So I'm pretty grateful for that too. And also, if you decide to dye your hair while like using box dyes or anything while using the henna treatment, it could potentially affect the way that it works. It might not take as well, or you might not get the colour that you wish. You kind of have to decide whether you want more of a natural colour from the henna or like a more synthetic approach, which is not wrong at all. But yeah, just give you guys a heads up with that. Depending on how much hair you have, you can like tailor the mixture and the quantities and stuff like that, just to kind of work for how much hair you have. When you're freezing them, you could use like smaller, like ice tray cubed silicone molds. I got my silicone molds from Amazon, and you can basically get like just normal size ones off Amazon. There's a whole load of them. I'll link my ones below if you wanted to get those. Pretty much adjust it to any quantity and size that you would want them to be. So just to know, everything that I've said in this video and in my previous video, it's just what works for me, and I'm just sharing it with you guys so you can hopefully benefit and take away something valuable from my experiences of using the Ayurveda and just hair care in general. So obviously always do what works for your hair. This is just a cute little community. I just want to share what I'm doing and the benefits that I have received from using Ayurveda and just looking after my hair with you guys. So yes, always do what works best for you. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I hope that I was able to cover most of the questions. If you still have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram or just leave a comment and I will answer those questions for you. Thank you so much for watching again, and don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to follow me on socials as well so you don't miss anything, and I shall see you in my next video.